bobbing my head because that really slaps. Anyway, some heavyweights returning from injury and or bye weeks. That's the focus of Projection Junction. Cynthia's here to tell us what we can expect from some of those players this week so you can take notes and adjust your lineups accordingly. We'll start with Michael Thomas, who has been trending sort of the wrong direction in practice the last couple of days. He's missed some time with a high ankle sprain, now dealing with a hamstring injury. But what do you project if he's able to go this week?
I think if he goes, I think it's a huge day. 8 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown, almost 24 fantasy points. Carolina's allowed a top 10 fantasy receiver in 3 of their past 5 games. Thomas and Breeze need to kind of reestablish their connection. I think this is a high target situation for him if he comes back. And I think, honestly, I think he will likely come back. I'm really hoping that this one happens this weekend.
A lot of folks hoping Michael Thomas comes back. In the same game, no such concerns about Alvin Kamara. He's well rested coming off the bye. What are you looking at for him?
Yeah, also a monster projection here. 62 rush yards, a touchdown, 5 receptions, and 47 receiving yards. If no Michael Thomas, jack up those receptions and receiving yards. That could be even higher. This could be another multiple touchdown day and go in Kimmy's list from the last segment. But again, if Thomas plays, then only 1 touchdown in the forecast.
Russell Wilson's kitchen back open this week. Just a reminder, that game has been moved to Sunday night now because of the schedule change. Seahawks facing a Cardinals defense that's been pretty stingy against quarterbacks this season. Will Russ be chefing it up?
I don't have the highest scoring game overall in this matchup, but I do think Russell Wilson still has a monster game. He still clocks in at my number 1 at the position this week with 295 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick likely by Budda Baker, and a couple of rushing yards like 27, which is only a couple for Russ. It's still going to be a monster game from him, but it is going to be one of those things where I don't think at the end of this game that there's going to be a very high score overall.
So like Trent and Mikey, we're going to Vegas, baby. A reminder that that game also changed on the schedule. But Josh Jacobs facing what has been a very good Buccaneers defense, allowing the fewest rushing yards per game to running backs, just over 49 per contest. So how are you feeling about Josh Jacobs?
Okay, so this projection reflects his O-line playing, which is, kind of a key thing when you're a running back. So I want to say with the O-line, 70 rush yards, 3 receptions, 24 yards, and slightly higher chances for a receiving touchdown than a rushing one, although one could happen or the other one is just a touchdown for that matter. Now, the Bucs defense against the run has been awesome. And remember, they're actually getting a guy from the Jets that Todd Bowles is very familiar with. So remember, that rush defense is something to be reckoned with. You want to make sure not to overestimate or over-project a running back against them.
Let's look at another running back with the initials JJ. That's Justin Jackson taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. A whole lot of J's there. Anyway, many managers have turned to him with Austin Eckler still out. How are you feeling about Justin Jackson?
Good old Northwestern, one of my alma maters. I have 54 rush yards, touchdown, 2 reception, 15 yards. I can't say that as often as you, Marcus Grant, because I didn't go to USC. This is a nice projection for him, and I think you looked at the matchup, and it's going to be a great one.
I was an alliteration major in college. We'll finish up with Jackson's quarterback, Justin Herbert, facing a defense that's 3rd worst against fantasy quarterbacks. Justin Herbert has been a nice fantasy ad. Does he keep it rolling this week?
Yeah, absolutely. He is well within that top 10, 280 pass yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks projected for him this weekend. That number could be even higher in terms of how many passing yards. And I love the connection with, what did she call it? Herbie and Kiki. Herbie and Kiki.
Herbie
I'm all
Kiki.
in.
Yeah, it's like a perfect celebrity nickname down here in Los Angeles.